Hi guys, welcome to a new series, North Node in Cancer. I'm wearing my pajamas. Pajamas is a universal symbol of comfort, of nurturing, of cozy at home, underneath your covers or not, but it has to do with comfort, with coziness, with warmth, with nurturing. So when I say welcome to North Node in Cancer, I'm saying welcome home. This one's dear to me because I have North Node in Cancer. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about is going to come from personal experience. I've lived it, I know how it feels like, I know how you guys feel. So before we dive into the specifics of Cancer North Node, let's give you a general idea about Capricorn South Node. Capricorn South Nodes, you guys are my workaholics. We know how to work hard. We're not afraid of hard work. We're not afraid of obstacles. And the more difficult, the better. The tougher, the better. The more steep the ladder that we have to climb, the better. Because Capricorn gives himself life. Capricorn gives himself worth through hard work. Through hard work, achievement, diplomas, recognition, people looking up to us, applause. We want to be, we don't mind working hard, and we want to be acknowledged for that. We want people to look up to us and say, oh my God, you, the true goat, because the symbol of the Capricorn is that mountain goat, right? So a true goat, the greatest one of all, greatest of all time. That's what Capricorn wants in their heart. They want, in their mind, they want that recognition, and they don't mind putting in the hard work. They don't mind putting in the hours. They don't mind sacrificing everything around them for achievement, for that gratification that comes from achievement. So my workaholics, people who are not afraid of responsibility, people who are not afraid to step into any situations, no matter how crazy, no matter how volatile, to come in and say, I got this, guys. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. They're both nurturing, but they do it in different ways. Capricorn, being the father of the zodiac, is tough. He's strict. He does not like a lot of emotion. He sees emotions as weakness. Capricorn South Nodes hate to display weakness, because weakness means that I'm not strong. That means that I will not climb to the mountain. That means somebody else will be better than me. We're competitive like Aries South Nodes, but we do it in a sense of achievement, like we have to achieve. Without it, we're nothing. We don't know who we are unless we're working hard, unless we're producing, and everybody gets to see it, and everybody gets to look at us and say, wow, you're amazing. We want that. But the pitfall with this is that in this lifetime, because Capricorn is in the South Node, we overdid that. We overworked ourselves. We overworked ourselves to death. We ignored everything that had to do with our own comfort. We ignored everything that had to do with our own families, our emotions, our hearts. We probably don't even know what it feels like to feel, because we suppressed our hearts and our feelings so much, because feelings meant weakness. If I'm weak, I will be defeated. If I'm weak, my enemy. And with Capricorn South Nodes, we are competitive, and we kind of see everybody as, if it's not me, then he's gonna be. If you're not first, you're last. Kind of like Aries South Node. So for us, showing emotions meant weakness, means somebody can take advantage of us, and we do not like that. So I guarantee you, Capricorn South Nodes, very disconnected from feelings. Uncomfortable with feelings, uncomfortable with emotions, uncomfortable with crying. I guarantee you, if you freaking cry, you're doing it somewhere hidden where nobody can see you. Even women, guys, even women. I was very uncomfortable with crying, very. I did not want anybody to see me as weak. I had to prove to everybody, including myself, that I was tough, that nothing can get me, that I can do this, that nobody can do it better than me. That's another pitfall for Capricorn. We are so used to taking charge. We're so used to doing everything on our own and being completely independent from others, that we don't trust others to get things done. We think that we're the smartest, we think we're the best, we're the most efficient, we are the best. And so we can look down upon others and say, well, you're never gonna be good enough. Your work is never gonna be good enough to my standards. Capricorn South Nodes, huge standards, huge. And just as we are critical of others, and saying, not good enough, this is not good enough, you can do better, 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 better. We do that to ourselves. So that critic that's on the outside is also on the inside, doing the same thing, driving us and saying, you can do better, you can do better. Stop your crying, wipe your tears, very masculine. Get out there and do it, because if you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it. So Yeah. So now with North Node in Cancer, you are here to get off that mountain. You're here to get off the corporate ladder. You're here to get off that desire for achievement, for desire to recognition. You're here to put on your pajamas, literally and figuratively, and freaking nurture. And first, you're going to have to nurture yourself. You're going to have to get in touch with your emotions. You're going to be brought to your knees with feelings, and it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. You're not going to know what to do. You may be at a funeral and you're not going to know what to feel. Somebody's cat just died and you'll be like, well, fuck, I don't feel anything. Almost like no empathy. But it's not because you guys don't have it. It's just that it's been buried deep inside of you so much through so many lifetimes. You forgot that connection to your heart that you literally can't feel emotions. And some people may say, gosh, you're so cold. You're so cold. You have no heart. People told me that before. And you don't understand. You're like, well, but it's true. Like literally, you're so disconnected from that part of you that in this lifetime, you will be forced to connect to that. You will not find pleasure in career advancement. You will not find pleasure in busy work. You will not find pleasure. You may think, but the more you do it, the more you work hard, the more you climb the ladder, the more you ignore your own comfort, your own emotions, the unhappy you're going to be, to the point where you might freaking collapse. You might get sick, you might get fired, only to freaking stop you in your tracks and force you to spend time by yourself, to forget about achievement, to forget about all of that, spend time alone, get to know your emotions, get to know, watch movies, get to know that emotional part of you, bring it out. And you're going to have a lot of crying, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of crying where you're going to have to accept that, gosh, I'm strong, but I don't need to be so strong. I don't need to carry the world on my shoulders. Somebody else can do it. I can just relax. I can just make some soup and just sit here and watch This Is Us, and cry my heart out. That's good for you. Even though your mind may say this is stupid, it's a waste of time, we have so much work to do. It's the best thing for you is just to sit there underneath your blankets with a good movie, emotional movie, something that's going to pull on those strings and freaking make you cry. And the more you cry, the better. So as you learn to nurture yourself, after that, you'll be able to nurture others. You'll still be tough because when you bring in that Capricorn South Node toughness, it's not going anywhere. But now you're going to do it with a motherly approach, with a nurturing approach. You're not going to be that strict father figure that says, no, this is not good enough. You're going to be nurturing. You're going to be strong. You're going to be a huge rock for whoever needs you because you have the strength and then you'll have the empathy and the feeling part. It's a beautiful combination. All right. So now we're going to dive into each house specifically to give you an idea what you're working with. Okay. All right. North Node in Cancer, 12th house. So, you know who has that? Marilyn Monroe. She had that position. So I'm going to use examples of her to kind of illustrate. So let's go back to your South Node in Capricorn in the 6th. So it's an easy house for Capricorn to be in because it's a house of work, of structure, of service, and Capricorn loves that. Capricorn loves hard work. So you had lifetimes where you were a huge hard worker, very much a workaholic, somebody who had very set, rigid, strict ways of how to work, probably worked more hours than you needed to, probably worked more in order to be appreciated, in order to be valued at work. Capricorn is always looking for admiration. So Capricorn will do whatever it takes, no matter how hard the work. If Scorpio does things by manipulating, Capricorn does things by hard work. It's the most hardest working sign in the zodiac. So Capricorn in the 6th, that means you're a very, very good hard worker. You're perfect at work. You were an authority. You knew everything. You had a rigid way of doing things. You were very efficient. You were very efficient with running any kind of business. You're very good at running things efficiently, structured. No time for excuses. No time for weaknesses. No time for anything like that. Distractions, nothing. And we're here to work. We're here to produce. That assembly line kind of idea. That's Capricorn in the 6th. Structured, boom, boom. Same thing every day. Same thing every day. Algorithm that works. Keep doing it. So So a lot of that's all Capricorn in the 6th knows is hard work. Hard work, and to the detriment of its own well-being, because sixth house is also your health. So it has to do with maybe you were very rigid in your health practices. Maybe you were somebody who had to follow some kind of regimen, and somebody imposed that on you because of your job, where they said, hey, if you want to work here, you better make sure that you weigh this much, and make sure that you are, like, there was constriction. Capricorn is always constricting in the South Node. It's always rigid. It's always walls. It's always smaller and like stern, not a lot of flowing. So when you put that in the 6th house, that means that there was rigid ideas about what you ate, how much you ate. Maybe you probably didn't really nurture yourself much. You saw your body as another efficient machine. You're really good at that. I'm going to say that you guys are good at that. Like, the good things about Capricorn in the 6th is that you're great. You're very efficient in managing your life, your everyday interactions. From 9 to 10, I'm going to do this. From 10 to 11, I'm going to do this. And there's no room for freaking changes. Capricorn doesn't like change. Capricorn is tradition. This is how we've always done things at this factory. We're going to keep going. So that's the good part of you guys, is that you're very good at managing efficiency, making sure that everything is being used, make sure that all the resources are being used, kind of like Capricorn in the 2nd, because it's an earth house, so Capricorn is going to feel good in an earth house. So rigid ideas about what you ate, about how your body was. Maybe you didn't pay much attention to your body. Maybe you ignored your body because you were working so hard. You really didn't pay attention much to all your ailments. So your body was kind of really, really neglected. And so if you look at Marilyn Monroe, she was always expected at work to be a certain way. And there's a movie with Eddie Redmayne where it's like My Week with Marilyn, where it shows how they saw her, of course, any actress, especially at that time, was a means to an end. They saw her as a possession. They saw an actress as like, how can we make money using this woman with this body, and what can she do for us? That's how actresses were regarded. Judy Garland probably too, ideas of where the body had to be not nurtured but managed. How her mother was giving her pills to keep her going, to put her to sleep, to wake her up. It was a constant cycle of pills. So the body was not listened to, but it was operated like a machine. Yeah, the body was regarded as another machine that needs to be operated, and here's how we're going to do it. So the same thing with Monroe and all the other actresses from that time, is that they were looked at as workhorses. You're going to do this, you're going to do this movie for me. I expect you to be beautiful, perfect, perky, great body. Otherwise, you don't get paid. And without me, you're nothing. Because back in the day, that was the idea. So now, with North Node in Cancer in the 12th, guys, it's a tough position in a sense that you're going to have to go from an Earth South Node in an Earth house to a Water North Node in a water house. I mean, you're going from rigidity and structure and management of everything to flowing. And it's a beautiful node because you're literally allowed to dive in to yourself and get to know yourself and really get to know yourself. And it can be a very scary place, because if you're used to lifetimes where you disregarded your intuition, you disregarded your body, you made your body perform for you, you were controlling of your environment, of your body, of your expression. Now you're literally being asked to lose control. You're being asked to let go of any kind of structure. You're being asked to walk away from hard work, from proving yourself, from maintaining that idea of a perfect employee and of a perfect body, of a rigid body, to flowing, And so that's why with Marilyn, you see a lot that she literally, she didn't feel very comfortable, in a working environment. All she wanted was to actually be by herself. All she wanted was to actually be alone. And with North Node in the 12th in Cancer, you will be forced, I would say, to spend time alone, you know, to get away from the hustle of every day, to get away from managing your life, and to dive into your own fears, because there's a lot of stuff there that you ignored throughout lifetimes. 12th house is what? Your sabotage tendencies, your fears, your insecurities, your everything that you the suppressed, the unconscious, stuff that you don't even know is there. It's not as scary as the 12th, as the 8th house, but it's still a deep house. It's a house where you can find a lot about yourself. And so the key here is not to, you know, because you'll feel the dissatisfaction. If you start to throw yourself into a work environment again, you will be dissatisfied, you will be tired, you're probably going to have health issues with your stomach, with, you know, because Cancer is the digestive system, so you're going to have issues with your digestive system. You're going to be called to get to know yourself. You're going to be called to get away from the everyday life and to your own seclusion. And if you do it, you will have opportunities to do that. Like, people think, well, if I don't work, how am I going to make money? How am I going to have the opportunity to spend time on my own? Well, you will. If you really take the time, and if you really make a decision to say, you know what, I'm done with the running around. I'm done with the rigidity. I'm done with working like a crazy, like a workaholic. I'm done with it. I'm tired. I'm freaking tired. Then the universe will create opportunities for you to slow down, because you're here to slow down. Slow down. Be alone, be by yourself, get to know yourself, get to know your body, because your body was suppressed. You suppressed the calls of your body. And so your body now is going to try to talk to you, and you might have ailments that you don't even know how the hell they came about. But if you get to know yourself, if you sit there quietly and start exploring intuitively, Cancer is intuition. Intuitively asking questions, you know, why am I hurting? Why do I feel this tension here? Why do I feel pressure here? If you start being and doing that, honestly, you will get the answers you need, and then you'll be able to, you know, find that balance within you, find that balance for self-nurturing. In the 12th house with Cancer, you are asked to self-nurture, big time. But for that, you have to spend time alone. You have to spend time with your fears. You have to vocalize your fears. You have to vocalize everything. Like, you have to become your own therapist, guys. If you can't do it yourself, find somebody. But I would say with Cancer in the 12th, you are equipped. You have all the tools that you need to be your own psychiatrist and therapist, to sit there and one by one bring out every fear, every discomfort that you have, everything that you suppressed before, because you wanted to prove to everybody that you can work so hard, that you're amazing and you can do it. Well, you have nothing to prove now. And you really need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your own comfort, your own zen, your own peace. Find your own peace. And when you do that, you will find that strength within you. You know, when you've been to the 12th house and you've dived deep, because it's a deep house, and you spent time there and you nurtured it, and you came face to face with all your fears and you vocalized them, and you talk to them, you know, maybe find somebody you can talk to about it, somebody you can trust. And then you will come out freaking strong, and then you will nurture others through that. You will nurture others. You will be very intuitive. You will be able to pick up on their pain. You'll be able to pick up. It's kind of like Cancer in the 8th. The same kind of idea. You'll be able to pick up on their pain, on their fears, on all the issues that they don't even know about. You'll be able to feel them. If you trust your intuition, you'll be powerhouse therapist. Yeah. And you'll be able to help other people and you know, help them get to the bottom of their own self-undoing, get to the bottom of their own problems, pain, insecurities, everything they have. We all have them. It's just some of us are better at hiding them than others, but we all have them. And the key is not to hide them. You know, they're going to come out anyway. So the key is to bring them out, talk about them, you know, acknowledge them and bring them home, and then they can never rule you. They can never take charge of you. Okay, so this concludes the Cancer North Node series. Thank you for doing this, for being with me with this. I really enjoyed this series because it's my North Node, so it was like a huge reminder to myself of what I need to focus on. Okay? All right, guys. See you soon for North Node in Leo.